Why do so many entrepreneurs fail? So many entrepreneurs fail because they don't have the right mindset, the right skill set to build a business. First, you need to understand that building a business is like raising a child. It's not just having a child, it's raising a child to become independent, right? Same thing with the business. You don't just have a business, you gotta raise the business. That takes sacrifice. That takes giving your time, yourself, your wealth into that business. It takes a consistent self-discipline to build something, a business that's gonna become independent. Because only when it becomes independent, that's when you're gonna receive all those rewards that you want, right? The financial freedom, the freedom of time. But if you don't build a business to be independent on its own, you're not gonna have a business, the business will have you. And you're not gonna get all those rewards that you went into business for the first place, that free time, right? So you need a certain skill set to begin to build this business in a way so that you can begin to enjoy the fruits of it. This is a skill set that we can develop as entrepreneurs to help us to win, all right? One of the first things that you need to do in your skill set is self-leadership. Man, that's level one right there, right? Like if you can't get up on time, get there on time, smelling good, looking good, with a good energy, a good attitude, a nice face, that you have on for those people that you're coming to. Like if you can't even do that, you're gonna struggle on building your business. You gotta lead yourself first. If you can't lead yourself, you're not gonna be able to lead a team. You're not gonna be able to scale your business. That's like the blind leading the blind, right? So self-leadership is probably one of the most important skill sets as an entrepreneur because you must be able to lead yourself. Level one. Also, you need courage. Because when you are doing business, I'm telling you, it takes courage because you're in uncharted territory. You haven't done this before. And the marketplace is always changing. So you have to have courage and be willing to take risk, to take action, consistent action. This is really important when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You must have courage. You must have the willing to take risk. Now, something that entrepreneurs will do to help them to create that courage is they get clarity for themselves. They get some goals, they get some vision of where they're going, how they're going to get there, right? They begin to break down that big dream into chunks so that they have some, practical steps that they can begin to take towards that dream. So they have clarity, vision, and goals. And not only that, they begin to progress even with that fear. That's courage. And they also have the ability to implement, act, and systematize. Entrepreneurs have the ability to be able to okay, this is what I need to do. I'm going to implement this. And then when it begins to work, they begin to systematize it. So that way they're not stuck to doing it all the time. So now it becomes on this automatic thing so that the business begins to build. An entrepreneur will have a skill set to begin to take action, implement things, but also systematize them because they don't want to be so stuck to the business, right? They want the business to become independent. That means you need to implement and systematize. That's another skill set when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Another one is perseverance. Because as you are implementing, as you are doing, as you are systematizing, it's not going to be all perfect, right? There's going to be issues that you're going to develop. There's going to be issues that you're going to run into and have to solve on the way, which means you need some perseverance. You need to endure. You need to grind. You need to have grit. You also need to have some gratitude. You want to enjoy the process too. You don't want to just be grit and grind and grit and grind. No, you need to have gratitude. Be thankful along the way that you're not where you used to be. You're not where you're going, but you're not where you used to be. And enjoy the process. That's really important in your skill set as an entrepreneur, because if you get so focused on those goals, on the ideal, and you don't see where you're coming from, you can actually get discouraged because you never feel like you arrive. So have some gratitude too. That's a part of your entrepreneurial skill sets. Another thing that you need is to have some purpose. Have a big picture thing. You see, in order to have perseverance, you need to have a big picture and see, okay, this pain right now has a purpose. It's because I'm going somewhere. That's where I'm going. I'm clear. I have a clear vision and a purpose, and that begins to create more perseverance for you when there is a certain level of pain as you are building your business. Another one is creativity. When you're an entrepreneur, you understand that the marketplace is always changing and you're willing and able and looking to adapt and change and create something new. Make it fresh, make it renewed, right? You're constantly redreaming and replanning and resystematizing because you're constantly looking for growth. So somebody who is always looking for growth, they will always have this creativity mindset where they're like looking to do things better, looking to do things another way that will produce more results. So this is wisdom and knowledge applied. That's a part of creativity. So that means in order for you to be creative, an entrepreneurial spirit or a skill set, it'll be somebody who is constantly learning, developing themselves. So that way they have more wisdom, more knowledge to pull from to be more creative. So an entrepreneurial person will be somebody who is constantly developing themselves. Another thing that they have in a skill set is the optimistic. They are optimistic. They have a certain mindset, a certain outlook when it comes to life and problems. An entrepreneurial mindset will begin to look past the problem into the possibility, past the problem into the potential, past the problem into the solutions, because there's not going to be any problem that's going to stop somebody who's an entrepreneur. They're just going to look past it and begin to overcome it, to go around it, to go under it, or to go straight through it, whatever it takes. But the entrepreneur will have perseverance, will have creativity, and will be optimistic. They'll begin to seek, to knock for solutions. They'll look for potential. They'll look for possibilities. Entrepreneurial skill set, self-leadership, courage, ability to implement and systematize, perseverance, creativity, and optimistic.